Let's move on. Our final team of the of this episode, I will be closing things out with the Seattle Storm. My New Year's resolution for Seattle is to make the correct hard decision.
Ooh.
This is tough. And here's the thing. That's the resolution because I don't know what that specifically is. I don't think I would make the correct hard decision here. And so I'm going to put it on Seattle to do it. All right. And honestly, we may not know if they've made that correct hard decision for another year or two. They have currently their big three, all three of Jewel Lloyd, Sue Bird, and Bree Stewart on unrestricted free agent status this offseason. And by the time this episode goes out, perhaps some news will have broken on one or all three of those players. But they have to make the correct hard decision. Now, that can be keeping one, keeping two, which I think is most likely, or keeping all three of these players. If they keep all three, the reality is that they will basically forfeit any ability to keep any other role player on the team. You could say goodbye to Katie Lou Samuelson when she's a free agent. Mercedes Russell would be gone. Even like Jordan Canada and Meg Begor, Canada and Meg Begor would be gone because they would have such a hard time keeping their roster together. Now, if they could convince those three to take pay cuts and sign for less than they would make with another team, by all means, go for it. However, I think the most likely scenario is that we see two of these players stay in Seattle with the third one going on somewhere else. I have my ideas and thoughts on who the third player would be who would go somewhere else, but I'm not going to reveal that at this time. But and again, I don't know even if that's the right decision. I'll just say it. I don't know if letting Jewel Lloyd walk is the right decision. It very well could be. But
LA needs a star.
I have a oh man. If Jewel Lloyd went in as a 1A on a team like LA, I might buy insane amounts of LA Sparks gear. But honestly, like I wish I could say what that correct hard decision is. I would be terrified to make that choice. So I'm just going to put it on Seattle and we'll make a judgment call. Maybe not even at the end of this year, but maybe at the end of 2 seasons from now, if they've made the right decision with their big three, all unrestricted free agents this season. So good luck, Seattle. I don't have any advice for you. If you want to call and chat about it, we can talk some pros and cons over the phone. I'd be happy to fulfill my role as assistant general manager. Be happy to help out with that. But you got to make the correct hard decision here, and emphasis on a very hard and difficult decision. So Jason, that's my final resolution for the episode.
I like it. Seattle keeps you on retainer for a reason. They'll call you if they need you.
I gotta get. They're not paying me. I gotta figure out. Maybe my direct deposit's not updated. I don't know.
You gotta send them a blank check. I
gotta figure that out. We gotta figure something out.
Yeah, I mean, so obviously I hinted what I think might be the option that ends up happening, and the team that I think might be in a position to pick them up and take that person with Jewel Lloyd to Los Angeles. I think that's a very believable scenario for me. But that being said, sometimes when you have somebody who's a legend, for example, Sue Bird, and that person is coming to the end of their career, I wonder, Sue Bird is synonymous with Seattle now. She's part of that organization. And sometimes I wonder, it's like, is she really going to jump somewhere else for a 1-year max contract just to get that last year in? Or is she okay, stepping back, either retiring or taking that pay cut just for the sake of keeping the team together, playing out her last year or two in Seattle? And then looking to the future, because for Sue Bird, obviously there's coaching options there if she wants them, but I also see her and Megan Rapinoe as the future, or not the future, the current voice of women's athletics advocacy, but stepping into that role full time, and pushing for women's sports and equality in women's sports and coverage and pay and all those different things. I see that as a really solid potential future option for her as she's looking at what she wants to do post her playing days. And I mean, I don't see her stepping away from Seattle. I don't know that you can let go of Bree Stewart, who is the core of your identity in a lot of ways, offensively and defensively. And so, yeah, that's what makes sense to me. But I wonder if maybe Sue Bird takes the hit just because she's from Seattle and that's where she wants to be from when she retires.
I think here's my thought. And I don't. The reason I kept it open like this is because I don't ever want to like assume a player's retiring, and enough people
Exactly.
have
Yeah.
been doing that for Sue Bird for like the last like 7 years.
7 years. Yeah.
So it's not fair to her to make that assumption. That being said, potentially the best thing that Sue Bird could do for Seattle is to not come back. And that sounds so weird, and Seattle fans are gonna I can already feel the heat come from Seattle fans. Listen, we love Sue Bird. All right, I've literally got a signed Sue Bird jersey like within arm's reach of me currently. All right, I love Sue Bird. For the future of Seattle, you might want Jewel Lloyd locked up for 3 years as opposed to Sue Bird coming back for one more. Just talking about future of the franchise. So if Sue Bird does retire, that puts Seattle in a much easier position where they could sign both Stewie and Lloyd and have those two moving forward. With honestly, they've had Jordan Canada there literally taking all of the lessons that she can from Sue Bird over the last several seasons. Canada's a fantastic point guard,
Yeah.
with a different skill set from Bird, but with a very easily could step into that role and lead from the backcourt. So if that's the case, Seattle has a much easier decision to make. All right, and maybe that hard decision isn't for Seattle as much as it would be for Sue Bird. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm sitting with that. That could easily be the case. But if she decides she wants to go run it back for another season, you got to make a tough decision, Seattle, and that could mean Jewel Lloyd potentially adios out of Seattle. So